the Flames and the Columbus Blue Jackets going down this evening. This one is over at Scotiabank Saddledome, and it is going to be a really emotional night. Oliver Kylington is going to check back in the lineup, probably, for the first time in basically 20 months, as he has been gone that long with dealing with mental health issues. It has been a long road back for him. Apparently he has done all of the work and is now, he has put in some rehab time with the Calgary Wranglers, and he is now up with the big club, and tonight he makes his debut, or return, I suppose. This is going to be incredibly emotional at the Dome. That, the standing ovation for him, and Coach Heska has a pretty good sense of these things. My boy needs to start, right? Like, you got to get him out there. And on the blue line, number 58. You know, like that you got to do the whole thing with him. But the ovation for this kid is going to be incredible. And I think this is going to be, and has the potential to be, one of the special nights at Scotiabank Saddledome, with Oliver Kylington making his return to the lineup. So hopefully that gives this Flames team a spark, because they desperately need it. A couple other roster moves here. Adam Ruzicka and Nick DeSimone were placed on waivers yesterday. Don't look at my Flames segment from yesterday when I said they probably don't lose either guy. They lost both. Ruzicka goes to Arizona, and Nick DeSimone is on his way to the New Jersey Devils. Now, I kind of overdo the reference a lot, but I say quite a bit. I was on radio during the, look, you can't lose Yanni Ordio to waivers, okay? You just can't lose assets like that for free. And then pass through waivers. And didn't turn out to be a whole lot in the National Hockey League. Ruzicka is such a tantalizing prospect, and he is someone who I have kind of been banging the drum for a little bit leading up to his debut in the NHL, because he has everything you would want, right? Like, he is big, there is talent there. There is, when it's on, it is on with this guy. The problem is, as we saw, it's not on a lot with him. It's on sometimes, it's on to start. It's really on to start. He's going to be great to kick things off with Arizona. And look, like, the Coyotes have a pretty good track record of getting waiver claims from the Flames. See Valimaki, Yuso. But for him, it is all about consistency. It is all about that consistent effort and that consistent execution. It's one thing to do it for one game. That's great. Can you do it for 5, 10, 15 games in a row? In Calgary, the answer to that question was no. And so that one, with Schwint coming up and looking just fine in that role, Walker Duehr has been called back up to the team. He is fine in that role as well. They're going to get Pospisil back at some point. They're going to get Pelche back. He's starting his conditioning assignment with the Wranglers this weekend. They have guys who can fill that role. So losing Adam Ruzicka, like, yeah, it's never good when you lose a player for nothing. But nah. The DeSimone one's a bit of a bummer, because he has shown some flashes, right? And there has been a bit of an upside where it's like, okay, this guy, there might be something here. Like, not top pairing ever, I don't think, but there's something here. And when I look at, like, I would have rather maybe a bit more of a flyer on him than Osterley. So the DeSimone one was actually the one that kind of was like, kind of hoping he would stick around from a Flame standpoint. So that was the one that kind of got me. But neither of them, I don't think are with all due respect to the players, I don't think either of them are gigantic loss to the organization. There's a lot of depth on the blue line for this Flames team down with the Wranglers to be able to call up. It's fine. And they're getting another dude back tonight in Oliver Kylington. So none of these are anything to really sweat about. But for the Flames, obviously emotional night with Oliver Kylington coming back into the lineup. The emotions hopefully give this team a bit of a boost. Hopefully they're able to rein them in, because they were extremely sloppy with the puck against the St. Louis Blues in their last contest. Like, really, really bad with the puck. And so they need to get that figured out quickly. That was really, really sloppy for Calgary, especially in the back part of that game, leading directly to a number of scoring opportunities for the Blues, and eventually leading to the dam bursting. You have the turnover by Weegar that leads to the shorthanded goal that kind of started the whole ball rolling in the wrong direction for the Flames. And that's another part of it tonight. They got to stop riding this roller coaster, man. Like, it's when they had the game against Tampa Bay this year where things were going against them, and then Zari puts the puck on net and it just goes in. And from there, they were able to turn the tide. They need to figure out how to turn that tide again because they have really, really struggled in this aspect for a bit now, where things are going well and then one thing happens and they kind of crumble. That needs to stop for this Calgary Flames team, but because they need these next 2 games. They are 4 points out of a playoff spot, and I understand there's a segment of the fan base that doesn't care about playoff spots. That's what this organization is gunning for, and so that is how I'm analyzing things. They are battling for a playoff spot. You cannot come away from games against the Blue Jackets and Blackhawks with anything less than 4 points. I don't care if you outshoot them 59-4 and the game goes to overtime, win that overtime. Like, this is not a time for this Flames team to be messing around at all. We have heard for months about how, well, we'll see where this team's at the All-Star break. The All-Star break is in a couple of days. This team, quite frankly, has not shown one thing that leads me to believe that this is a team that is worth investing in going onto a long playoff run. They have done nothing to show that this should be anything but blown up. And so now is the time for them to show that they are hanging around. As frustrating as it's been, they've hung around, but now they need to actually make some noise here in the Western Conference.